Good morning, fans of Rando, and welcome to another presentation of the latest past Randomizer League Season 7, I think. And we have a match for you in the Invitational between Brogar and Will WC. I am Taylor116, and joining me on the call is Drosy. Hey, Drosy.
Hey, fun to be kicking this off with you. A mode that has never seen the light of Restream before, as far as I know.
Yeah, sorry for just a little bit of a delay. The seed bot didn't want to cooperate for a little bit, but we're ready to go.
Yeah, so yeah, we should probably talk about this mode. We should also talk about that this is a rematch, actually. These two runners are a rematch of last year's finals, so pretty good way to be kicking off the mode.
Yeah, we're going to kick off week 2 with a rail banger. Match out of the Invitational League in the Lost Woods division. Both teams 1-1 last week, so looking to keep going with that momentum.
Yeah, also interesting just that the reigning champion and reigning runner-up each took a loss the first week.
And here we go.
Okay, I hope Rogor didn't set a delay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Phew.
Yeah, we were actually just talking before this got started about it's kind of nice, a new experience with League of not having a delay. So
Yeah, and we've already had a couple of runners who have done so anyway. Old habits die hard.
right, you know that bottle at a sanctuary. Both runners with a sanctuary start. It's kind of nice being able to take that bottle right to Sick Kid. But yeah, let's talk about this mode a little bit. Let's do some open boss hunt.
Yeah, so this plays kind of like Open 7-7, except that the bosses drop Triforce pieces rather than pendants and crystals, and you need 10 Triforce pieces to make Ganon vulnerable.
Right, and another fun little. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and just additionally, if you say, but there are only 10 bosses, there's also a Triforce piece in the GT Basement Vanilla Big Key chest and a Triforce piece in the Post Moldorm chest. So you can climb GT and get 2 Triforce pieces in the tower in lieu of doing 2 dungeons. And there's the mirror in Lost Woods Dropdown. Nice early find.
Yeah, not being able to farm any bombs early. Will's going to do a save and quit, come back to Link's house. Maybe go at it from the south. Oh, but Brogar pulls a triple and grabs some bombs. Yeah, another fun facet of this mode that's kind of interesting is, and you may see it as our runners go about, the pendants and crystals, which are normally dungeon prizes, are mixed in the item pool. So it's possible just to pull the green pendant out of Kakariko and be able to turn that in right away.
Right, and we should also mention, related to crystals, GT is open, so if you can get up to it, you can go in. You don't need 7 crystals for that. So the only use for crystals is finding the 5-6. Pendants, of course, the green one still gives you Saha's prize, and all 3 will let you pull Ped. And there's kind of burn-on race game. We're doing all the scouting. Another bottle and library. I think we'll skip that. Not that we have the boots yet anyway. Book and Bugnet and Glove in blind set. That is a loaded blind set.
It's a really nice blind set.
Will freeing the chicken in the tavern, as opposed to the chicken in Chicken Hut.
Oh, that bottle playing out immediately with the fire rod sitting on Sick Kid. Kakariko pretty stacked already.
Yeah, nice to get that early. Okay, so that's an interesting layout for the shuffled pendants and crystals. I'm not quite sure what it means. Does it mean that those are in the light world somewhere? Well, there's Crystal 4 sitting in a chest in the well.
Yeah, sword, we like those. Yeah, Kakariko's the place to go. Kak Skipper's in shambles today. So yeah, as these runners go about, they're constantly trying to analyze and think. Okay, I have these items, I can beat these dungeons. Trying to get to that magic number of 10. Beautiful flute.
Yeah, flute right next to where you activate it. I mean, this seed is all too convenient. I wonder who rolled it. Not remarking that we could go beat Moldorm. That we have the flute to get to the mountain, the mirror to get up the mountain. Even if Hera Big Key's vanilla, we have the fire rod to do the torches, and we have a sword to beat Moldorm.
Right, and that goes back to what we were just talking about of constantly the runners will be thinking, okay, I can go beat this, I can beat that, I can knock this out, I can combine getting into GT and getting one, and it'll get to a point quickly where the runners will be like, okay, I need 2 more dungeons, and this one item knocks those 2 out. There's a real potential that we could see a divergence in how this finishes between the runners and what items they find.
And speaking of, I believe, unless there's something on the Desert Torch, one of the required keys, we could potentially beat Desert as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to grab that book. There it is.
So, game's certainly giving us a lot of options right out of the gate. And of course, we can always just do South Shore and see what else comes up in Sphere 1. Though I think Will's probably going to take that glove to the back of Escape. He did get the glove, even though it's not a... There we go. Broker doing the more conventional South Shore plays.
Yeah, I like going for the density hard in this mode to try to accumulate as many items as possible. Then you can just see, okay, I can knock, like you were talking about, potentially Desert and also Hera. Okay, let's go get some prizes out of the way, see where we are then. I mean, we still need the Dark World access, the typical, Zelda go-to, but yeah.
And with finding the small key in the back of Escape and having the fire rod, Will knows that he can logically get to Dark Cross from the back.
Yep, I like this play. Limit going into Hyrule Castle if you can.
Meanwhile, Brogor is about to get 5 items. Early flippers. Ooh.
Bombos in Dark Cross is not nothing.
Yeah. Could need that.
Yeah, we're just gonna trade places for a little bit. We'll see if Broger wants to go get that Dark Cross with having the key sitting back here. Broger decides, yep, that's worth my time. So this is good. Keep them close. Will walking into Mini Moldorm Cave just decides to engage the kill switch and just end everything with the bombos. All right, just some more money in Ice Shard Cave and some more money in a shield sitting in the Waterfall Ferry. Waterfall Ferry giving out greens, sure. Replacement for the one they just used.
And looks like Broger's gonna follow Will over to the other Flippers checks here. Oh, he's going straight for Hobo, okay.
Yeah, we'll skip this, so we'll see if it's anything they have to come back for. But yeah, both runners just being extra thorough in the beginning. Lots of exploratory and utility items, trying to mop up the obvious to see where the game wants them to go.
That's an interesting place to trigger Zora from. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before.
Things I've never seen.
And Broger gets the incredibly controversial plastic shield for his trouble.
All right, both runners kind of wrapping up these pretty standard overworld checks, being really efficient and making sure they get everything. So now I would think we're going to see potentially the mountain. Maybe you go to desert first, hoping for a hookshot or a hammer to do the rest of the mountain in one trip, but you know you can get Hera. So I would think that would be the first place to go.
Yeah, where do we think Will is off to? Desert.
I know nothing.
Scout the ledge, which is just the single arrow. But we also find out, or will be about to find out, whether Desert is boots locked. What would be funny is if Mitch show up and then we have to go to Checkerboard Cave for the Moon Pearl or something. And Desert's boots locked.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Moon Pearl at Checkerboard Cave.
Will's not even going to bother with Aegina after that.
I was gonna say, it's gonna feel real bad if Agina's just sitting on the boots.
Yeah. And Broger is also about to find out the Desert's boots locked.
Yeah, having it blocked in from the center of desert, you'd have to either go out to east to jump out to go get Agina or flute back to 6 and then walk through the entirety. So I could kind of see Will's idea of, no, there's other things I can do.
Broger remembering eventually that he has the mirror. And he's going back for Aegina. Oh yeah, we can also scout Ether Tablet. We don't have a Master Sword to pull it, but I'm sure he'll read it.
Oh no!
Oh, you were saying Talon?
That's the worst
Commentator's
too.
Curse?
That's the worst too, because you almost think, oh, I should just check this before I go in, because what if it's the boots and I need it, and then neither did it, because I wouldn't have either. Because Agina's the worst, but that's bad.
Yeah, and Broger, not surprisingly, is going right back to Desert, which he can now beat.
Ice Rod.
Yeah, that early Ice Rod means we're never getting into TR now. On the other hand, there are 2 items in Desert, and Will doesn't have that many options. I guess there's Front of Escape and Saha Eastern. But it could be that progression is locked in Desert behind the boots, so Will be forced here sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and that would be the best case scenario for Will to kind of get forced back in there sooner than later. But you're right. I mean, if they don't find their progression here, my guess they'll go to Eastern and the Saha area.
Well, there's 1 item in Desert and Junk. Vanilla Big Key had to be there.
2 vanilla big keys already in my rando? Seems unusual.
Accompanied by vanilla small keys to get to them.
Yeah, see, it's not okay. Anything vanilla is like a rando player's worst nightmare, because you never assume it's ever going to be there.
Actually, have the maps been vanilla as well?
Hera was, yeah.
And Desert was.
Oh, yeah, and Desert was, you're right.
Desert Compass wasn't vanilla, though.
Finally. Every runner's got that awful story about Samaria being vanilla in Mire, or, the hammer in Pod or something, so... I'm here for the randomizer, darn it. Alright, both the runners executing their dungeons very well, heading toward their bosses, trying to grab that first Triforce piece.
And just some money so far in Hera, just like that's all we've found so far in Desert. And that's both items out of Hera and no progression, so Will is going to have to leave the mountain. But what item does Lanmo have? Very nice Lanmo fight.
Very clean, great job.
Desert's not the answer either. So we have Saha Eastern, we have Front of Escape. Is there anything else we haven't seen?
Don't believe so.
Actually, have you seen Link's house yet? Have either of these runners been to Link's house?
Yeah, they did it. It had $300. That's where they got their Zora money from.
Ah.
I like the castle here for the uncle, and then there's 3 of the 4 in Hyrule Castle are items, and I don't want to go to Eastern without a bow, frankly, but.
And Will gets trolled by the Troll Dorm. Oh.
Oh, subpar in chat coming through and saying the boots checks are now viable too.
Green pendant on Helmet King. We've never seen a green pendant pod before, have we?
There's no way. Pendant pod, get that out of here.
It's nice that these hints are very specific, since the pendants can be anywhere. They don't have to be on a boss.
Right, and again, we were saying that green pendant can just be anywhere, so that accessibility to that item could just be sitting, in the overworld and very much in play.
Will finally get Smoldorm on his 3rd try.
And there we go, a Triforce piece for each of our runners. And we are off.
And Brogor is on his way to an Ice Rod, a Triforce piece, and Mountains of Disappointment and Broken Dreams. Oh yeah, Will never did Ice Rod Cave. So that's a fine one-off for him, but not a Gina.
Well, but I mean, and that's the curse with desert. You know it's boots locked, so you're not going back without the boots until until it comes to be your pearl is flipper or boots locked or something, and then you have to go back, and that's no matter what, it's gonna feel bad now.
Or until we get the mitts, and then Meyer becomes a thing, and you have the mirror, so it's easy to route an Agena at that point.
That might honestly be a benefit for Will at this point, pulling the mitts and forcing themselves back.
And yeah, we're gonna see Front of Escape here. And Uncle. Hammer's a nice find.
Nice hammer.
So that puts us Moon Pearl away from Dark World access. Hammer's also a pretty nice weapon.
Yeah, it turns out the hammer's got a little more beef to it than just the fighter sword.
That also unlocks East Death Mountain, which will probably keep Will away from Saha and Eastern, but probably also keep him away from Agena.
Right, that's a great point. It's one of those things that, I was already on the mountain. If I would have done this first, and it happens, I think, to a lot of runners. You start thinking, if my opponent did the Uncle start, they had this going up to the mountain, and the common conception with all rando runners is my opponent did everything right.
Yes, I've seen many a rando runner psych themselves out that way.
It's me. I'm rando runner.
You sure it's not your erstwhile teammate Gilgamesh?
No, that guy, it's pretty good. I don't know if you saw main tournament. He did pretty well. All right. Besides that hammer, the castle not really having anything we care about. Well, it may also be thinking that hammer would have made Moldorm a bit easier.
Yeah, just a bit, but hey, Brogar's in the same boat. Other than having the boots, he's able to do dash pokes, which make it a bit less likely he's going to fall off the platform here. He also happened to get Moldorm stuck on the left side, which...
Yeah, that was a really good fight.
And I was wrong. Will does not want to go back to the mountain, so... Here we are with the Saha Eastern checks.
Will confirming that hint from Saha about the green pendant and Helmassar. So we start looking forward a little bit to access to the Dark World. Fire Rod to Skullwood's beatable. Hammer means you can full clear Thieves Town. I mean, we're getting to that point already where a hookshot and a bow and mitts, that's kind of it.
We'll probably need some Aria.
Maybe, but potentially not. With the mitts, you can meet Ice Palace. With the bow, you can meet Eastern and Pod. And with the mitts, you can access GT for those two. So unless the big key's on the right side, you don't need it. You don't need Samaria.
Yeah, it is possible that this could be a Samaria-less seed. Does make you wonder about the early Bombos, though.
Yeah. The early accessible Ice Rod makes me think Samaria may not show up, though.
So if progression isn't in Eastern, it has to be on East F Mountain, right?
Well, there's the boots checks.
Oh, right, we haven't actually seen Bonk Rocks. We've scouted Library, and King's Tomb isn't accessible, so it's just Bonk Rocks, right?
Right. Oh, did we see Bonk Rocks? I completely missed it then.
Oh, okay, thank you, Iker. Oh, that's why Brogor is walking around with that huge thing in front of him.
Oh.
So, was that one item or two?
I believe that's 2. I think we had arrows already.
So Will's going for the 50-50 out of logic since he's here anyway. Brogor misses the key.
Yeah, especially in Will's case, being so close to Dark World access but having so few checks left. I think you have to go for this in here.
Yeah, it's just very unlikely to be progression.
Agree. Spotted something in chat. How do players win this mode? You'll look above their heart count. You'll see currently Will has 1 of 10. Brogor has 2 of 10. Those are Triforce pieces that we are looking for. All the dungeon bosses have Triforce pieces instead of the normal dungeon prizes. Additionally, the vanilla big key chest in GT and the post Moldorm chest in GT have Triforce pieces. Once you have 10 of the 12 available, you can go into Ganon and finish it off.
Hey, Talon, look where Will is.
Yeah, this is really good for Will. Regardless how this ends, he's gonna want these. He's gonna feel like he's way behind. He's not.
He's a bit behind because Brogor is now on the East Mountain where we know the progression must be. But that's also because Brogor didn't go into Eastern.
Right. Yeah, he's gonna feel more behind than he is. He's obviously Brogor's got more done, but this isn't life altering.
Master Sword on Floating Island. I imagine we'll find other swords, but at least we know where one is, so we're not going to wind up in sword mode. So it must be Paradox Cave. With its 7 items.
Come on, Mitts.
Mushroom.
Yeah. Oh, good.
If that's our progression, jeez. At least we have the flute. Three more chances for it not to be mushroom. Wow, this is like Bomb Cave. Okay.
Oh, boring.
Moon Pearl in the last place it could be short of mushroom turn-in. Interesting. Brogor going for Cack Portal rather than, say, Hype Cave.
Yeah, it might have something to do with being able to knock both these dungeons out full clear-wise. Maybe you pull a bow or the hook shot and you can just round about to the other dungeons on the way.
I'm not a huge fan of Fighter Sword Moth.
I'm just not a fan of Moth.
That too.
I don't care what my equipment is. I don't want to fight that thing. Tell you what, for Will's sake, it's a pretty good thing they didn't just immediately go to the mountain and get their Dark World access, or those boats may have been abandoned for a long time.
Oh, for sure. It's more unfortunate that he dipped Eastern.
Yeah.
No one likes dipping Eastern. Shoutouts to Shady Force in chat. Oh. Red pendant sitting there in Skullwoods.
Yeah, and that is counted in the item pool now, so that counts as one of the items for Skullwoods.
And there's also 1/3 of our pet requirement, and with the mirror and the book, I imagine we'll be doing a pet check after Moth. A little surprised Brogor is doing bridge chest before Moth because he's already found one item.
No, I approve of that, especially having the mirror, because I don't want to... If it's not, then you have to leave, come back in, do the screen transitions. If you have the mirror, just knock it out. And if it's something like a sword or even a heart, it could just make that Moth fight even faster, so...
That's true.
Or even half magic.
Ooh, Will doesn't quite manage the one cycle. Runs out of magic right before he could finish off Lanmo, but very nice 2 cycle.
Yeah, nice hammer hit.
And we are very briefly tied up on Triforce pieces. I expect Brogor to break that tie within the minute. I guess Hammer does make Moth a bit better than just having to do it with the Fighter Sword.
Moth proving why he is awful.
Brogor does have a green goo for... Oh, there we go, never mind. Yeah, the Waterfall Fairy gave us green goo. But I guess the second Skullwoods item is in the front.
Alright, Brogor wrapping up their fight as Will heads to the mountain on the way to their Pearl.
Brogor did not check Ped. He just remembered it? No? What is he doing?
Faster route back to... It's not having to go around through Skullwoods, I guess?
I'm personally offended that he didn't check Ped. I'm sure Chad is too.
Chad is just in a natural state of offended. It doesn't really matter what the cause is.
So Brogor saying no thank you to Ped check, no thank you to the second item in the front of Skullwoods. Guess we'll see how Will plays this.
Okay, there's one of our red crystals that can lead to a Pyramid Fairy opening. And Brogor gonna go right for blind. Here's Thieves Town.
There's Will's Moon Pearl.
I would expect we're going to see Will's route reflect Brogor's pretty similarly. I know nothing.
There's a shovel. We're just racking up the fetch quests. Oh, the bomb vendor will tell us where 5 and 6 are. I wonder if Will's going to interview him after Hype Cave.
Hype Cave just a resupply shed between money, health, arrows.
Yeah, money that we don't really need at this point. Hey, French Vanilla Mitts.
There you go, Will. That's the right answer. Grab that boomerang, buddy. And no small key for Brogar means the small key in theme sound locks itself. Don't care about it. We're moving on. Okay, what I really want to see now, with Brogar fighting the Mitts, I really want to know where a bow is. Alright, absolutely perfect fight by Brogar on Blind, knocking them down, grabbing their 4th Triforce piece. They're gonna finish up, go down probably to Hype Cave. We're gonna see some of the stuff Will already did while Will begins their Dark World traversal.
Well, I think he's gonna... I was gonna say I think he's gonna do Dig Game and then do Smith Chain. I guess he's giving up on Dig Game since you can't do it with a follower. Oh, I missed that Brogar had picked up a 5-6 in Brewery, but Will got it, and I remember Brogar being in Brewery. So yeah, I don't know what Brogar's plan for Dig Game is. I guess he can always not pick up the purple chest to come back for it.
No, I like this. I like going for the Smith Chain here and just following it all the way down, assumingly probably the Hype Cave. You know, check the shovel on the way, etc. and so forth.
My point is just he's orphaned Dig Game.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. That thing is super orphaned now. But...
He never checked C-shaped house, okay.
Yeah, amongst the orphaned items for Brogor, Graveyard Lit just kind of just sitting out there forever now.
You mean because he'll probably check King's Tomb from the Light World?
I would guess.
We should also get a scouting of Bombo's tablet while he's down this way.
Check of that shovel as well.
Also, oh, right, that's why he hasn't yet ditched the chest. I was thinking, he can ditch the chest anytime and... Ooh! Shovel important.
Well, that's great, because it's going to lead him right into Swamp Palace, too.
Yeah, we have the means for a full clear of Swamp, and still are only on Fighter Sword.
I really want to know where that bow is now. Because unless I've missed something, and I don't think I have, bow and Brogor's go. Minus a sword, but our runners know where they can get one.
Right, and Brogor even has access to it.
Yep.
Brogor not scouting Bombos. Okay, make a liar of me. I don't know if he's hoping for a sword in Swamp based on the rule that there's always a sword in Swamp, and then he'll just pull it.
Another great blind fight by Will, and there's their third piece.
Yeah, I guess Brogor could even do Ice Palace.
Yeah, I would guess that's by their next stop. They'll snag Hype Cave out of this, and then go run into Ice.
And let's see how Will plays Skull Woods. As we know, Brogor did leave an item in there.
Oh, what do you know? What do you know?
As I was saying, there's always a sword in Swamp. Brogor just going straight for the back, and I don't blame him for skipping left side, especially when he's potentially go -1 right now.
Right. There's the chance that the main key for GT is locked behind Samaria, which could throw a small wrench into Brogor's plans, but I like this play of, no, I need one thing, left side is dead to me.
To answer chat, no, neither runners turned in Mushroom. They probably were hedging against fake powder, but now that Brogor has found the real powder, maybe we will see a quick flute to 2 next time he's in the Light World. I like how we do have a fetch quest locked fetch quest because the powder was behind the hook shot, which was behind the shovel. Triforce piece number 5 for Brogor, and Will is going to use that green goo to get some fire rod shots. Oh no!
Yeah, Will was really playing an aggressive fight with Moth there, and then kind of got pinned in some bad spike placements, and that's rough.
So let's see. Brogor believes that Bombo's tablet doesn't exist, Dig Game doesn't exist, and PED doesn't exist.
Which, so far, is kind of working out. Like, the calls they're making have really not burned them too bad.
Oh, and now he's going to check the Mire area. Okay. We don't even know if we can get into Mire, but... Hey, 3 items, the minimum. And it's Quake, we can't get in. Much better second Moth fight for Will.
Yeah, that was super clean.
There's the lamp and a useless crystal for Brogor.
Never said to see map or see the lamp. You don't really need to go out of your way for it, but it definitely makes rooms much easier. Like if it's obvious, most runners will take it without hesitation. Oh baby. So Brogor pulling the bow, just sitting in the checkerboard cave.
Why not?
It's potentially in full go mode, barring the GT Big Key being locked by Samaria. Knowing that, would you just rush GT now to know for sure, yes, I'm in go, or no, I'm looking for Samaria?
It does kind of make sense. I'd probably do most of the checks in Pod and Eastern.
Yeah. Yeah, Eastern, most of the checks are all in the way. You're going to find what you need as you go through. Pod's got some more diversity. If you were just go moding it and find the big key early, you could just run it. So, but yeah,
And
I don't know.
you can pick up Tempered on your way to GT too, so that's another argument in favor of rushing it.
So the second item in Skullwoods that Brogor left behind was Ether, so nothing too damning potentially.
Right, it can't lock the game because the only thing Ether could be good for at this point is getting into TR, and, well, TR can't have Samaria. Brogor going for this hover, which has been getting quite popular. I've seen quite a few runners do this Arena Ledge hover so far in League. Gets it second try. So Will's going to show us Graveyard Ledge, another thing Brogor orphaned forever. Hey, there's our third pendant, so Brogor will be coming out of Pod with Pet in Logic. I doubt he's going to pull it at this point, but, you know.
Yeah, Brogor's been really good about these strategic isolated skips of these one-off items, and none of them really hurting him. And making the call to go into Agina's Cave while still in desert really is kind of the difference in this race so far.
And Will's Dip of Eastern.
Right. Right, which, is kind of a result of Will deciding not to do a Gino when they were in Desert.
Goodbye, Forever Pod, Big Chest. Oh, well, there's our Meyer entrance, which may just wind up holding Will back as he leaves a nice bomb for the witch. So, 2 fetch quests have already led to something. Honestly, that's probably Will's biggest out if GT Big Key is Samaria locked and Samaria is vanilla or French vanilla.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. It's kind of the thing that has to happen for Will at this point, because Brogar is just tearing through what he has left. Even with doing the checks in pod.
Will turning down the red mail. And there's our green pendant. Wonder if Brogar even bothers popping by Saha on the way out. I feel like it's worth that just to hedge against the Kane being there.
Yeah, with you being this close, I agree.
I'm also guessing that Brogar isn't going to take that 50-50, so he'll save quite a bit of time in here. And there's Bow for Will. He still needs to dig up the hook shot, though.
I would guess we're going to see them go to Pot Eastern, though. Yeah. Yeah, Will's route to the Dark World, where they did Hive Cave, and then got stuck in the Digging Game, and then went from Thieves Town north. Kind of isolated the Smith Chain in by the same amount, also kind of the Shovel Check.
As expected, Brogar has no interest in that 50-50 when he's most likely in go mode. And one thing about GT is you don't actually need to beat it, so there's no issue if Brogor just goes to GT, gets the 2 pieces there, then does Ice Palace, and then goes to Ganon. And yep, looks like he is doing that GT play now.
I've talked to a couple other runners about that, and I've had the experience when I've done some practice of this mode where the one after Moldorm is your last piece. Do you just go beat Agatoon to get taken right to the pyramid? Do you save and quit and then just run there? Like, what's the faster, better route? Assuming that you haven't beaten Aga 1.
Right. I asked that once, actually. I was told that saving and quitting is still faster.
Yeah, I think it is too. The RNG with the blue balls in Aga 2, and then all the time that the cutscene takes to get you to...
Right, I think the cutscene is the big thing.
Yeah, like, you have to be borderline perfect for it to be an advantage. It's kind of like running up Death Mountain. You know, as long as you don't encounter dead rocks, then it's faster one way than the other.
Now, maybe if you somehow don't have the boots by that point, it's faster to beat Aga 2.
Yeah, yeah, that's another factor. I would agree.
Brogor's gonna go for that Tempered Sword. And by the way, he did skip Saha. So I guess that's another potential out for Will. But GT needs to be Samaria locked to begin with. Oh, there's our other 5-6. Sitting in Hookshot Cave. Yeah, chat, get in your GT guesses for the big key. We didn't even mention that, but I'll be interested to see if anyone thinks it's going to be over on the right side. Which would correspond to a guess of 18 or higher.
I think it's just going to be on, like, the torch or something.
And the big chest in Pod was just the map anyway.
Yeah, I think that information from Saha saying that the green pendant was on the Helm King, I think Brogor may have been counting anew. I was down to 1 item left, and we knew it had to be on Helma.
That makes sense.
That might be me assuming a little bit, but... Nothing in double firebar, because there's never anything in double firebar.
Right. Brogor has neither a boomerang nor Samaria for doing these switches, so he has to do them by bombs. Which is what I did as a kid because I didn't know any better.
Same.
Okay, that small key in Fire Snake room makes it very likely, though not necessary, that big key is in Rando room. And sure enough, Brogor almost mirrored. He had the mirror out.
Yeah, I was like, oh, no, 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 no.
And remembered what he's actually here for besides the big key.
Yeah, a little bit of muscle memory on that one. Of just like, all right, I can go climb. Oh wait, hold on. All right, it has been reached the hour mark. Will drops Helmasar, grabbing their 5th piece. We'll probably mirror right into Eastern to grab their 6th, but Brogar firmly in the lead now.
Still no silvers, so we have to do Ice Armos the hard way. Nicely done, though. What was that for big key count? 12?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes.
Okay, we'll give the shout-outs to Beehole 1980 as being closest without going over. So it's just kind of funny that, like, the GT climb here is almost the end game, except that we still have to go back and beat Cold Stare.
I wonder if Brogar was holding off on doing Ice Palace, knowing I know where our Temperate Sword is, and that makes Cold Stare so much easier. Or if I find Samaria, it makes Ice Palace so much faster, rather than just doing it before GT.
And Broker doing bow strats for Wizrobes 1 very nicely.
No Samaria for Wizrobe rooms make these rooms not nearly as enjoyable as they usually are.
Again, I think most of us probably as kids didn't know about doing Wizrobes rooms with Samaria.
Will was nice enough to give us the green pendant turn in, just Uncle Bombs.
Oh, right, I just realized with Will going into Ice, and this is going to affect Broger as well. No Icebreaker today. We are going to have to IPBJ. And Broger was jealous that Will took those falls to Moldorm 1, so he had to take one to Moldorm 2.
Everyone likes a high five, even from Moldorm.
And there's Triforce piece number 9, and we are out. This room is annoying without the hook shot to just get across the second half. Broger, I think, is grabbing the chest and compass room just in case it's the Samaria and suddenly he can do Icebreaker.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that idea because it's just so much faster. But Broger definitely giving us a show of what upgraded equipment can really do to those pin gators.
Right. Hookshot makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, Will never did the Smith chain at all. Oh, and there's our last sword, okay. I keep getting an urge when races are laid in to peek at the race room and see who finished first without the delay, and then I realize that this isn't on delay.
Yeah, something new for League this year. Not no forced delay.
And again, Broger making nice use of that hook shot to just go right through the fire bar. And Broger will have a slightly easier time with Cold Stare with the Tempered Sword, though that was still a very nice Master Sword Cold Stare fight for Will.
Yeah, that was a great job by Will, locking him up in that left corner and just using the fire rod to great effect and grabbing their 7th piece, but still needing that hook shot to be able to put this seed away. Broger getting ready to finish off their last piece and then head to Ganon.
By the way, Chad asking about Shovel. Shovel was in Thievestown. Will has it. He just never checked it.
Yeah, Will's route into the Dark World, they did the southern part, getting Snuppy in the dig game, and then going from Thievestown north. So that area was just a little bit isolated and never got back down there.
Right, because he did Thieves before Skullwoods.
Right.
One puff gets away from Broger, but he takes care of it. And on to Ganon.
Yeah, we've spoken a little bit about Will and some of the routing things that really just didn't go their way. Nothing necessarily wrong, just didn't work out this time. But that's no slight to Broger, who has absolutely smashed this scene and done a lot of things right. Like, their execution has been top-notch, and yeah, absolutely just hit the route on this one.
Hey, I guess we'll get to find out what the medallion for TR is. I'm also wondering where silvers are. Ganon will tell us that. Oh, so, okay, the ether that was in the front of Skullwoods does open TR, but we still don't know where Samaria is. And Ganon has an identity crisis and thinks he's Kefka.
You say that, I have a friend who does the Worlds Collide randomizer, and every time I find their stream, I always find them when they're fighting Kefka. It never fails. Like, I always just get there super late. Like, oh, this is Kefka. Every time. Just convinced that whole randomizer is just fighting Kefka.
Hey, silver's in TR. I don't think we're getting those. Probably Laser Bridge.
Broger's like, I didn't even go near it. I don't even
know the medallion to get in. By the way, shout-outs to Fishing Boo for tracking all this.
Yeah, I definitely want to give a shout out to our tracker. Appreciate you. It was a pretty quick one, but we appreciate your work. Thank you so much.
Down goes Ganon, get your GG's in for Brogor. He crosses and finishes at 1 hour, 10 minutes, 57 seconds. And the forfeit comes in from Will almost immediately afterwards, so let's see if we can get them in here. I see Broger hanging out in the setup room.
Dachte, dass der Browser abstürzt.
Hey, Brogor, GG.
Hello, GG's.
That was blazing fast.
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, Lightworld was a bit scuffed, but afterwards it was pretty linear, I guess. I was just a bit scared about maybe Zomaria being required for GT, but that's about it.
Yeah, speaking to that, did you ever have the thought once you had gotten that bow, oh, do I need to just go to GT to see if I need Samaria? So you could just, rush through the rest of it, or were you looking for Samaria on the way, potentially?
I think when I was in this town, I found mids, right? And I was like, oh, that could be like bow go mode, bow locking like 4 potential crystals. And then I was like, okay, I'm just playing this route down towards Hype Cave and see where this goes. And then I check the Maya medallion in case it's no bow showing up. Yeah, and then just saw the rest, I guess. But yeah, I was a bit scared. Like as I said before, GT could be Samaria locked. I once had that. My opponent had like 3 crystals. I was with 7 crystals in GT and I lost the race. So, can happen.
You were also doing skips all over the place, though.
What did I skip? I skipped digging game.
You didn't check Ped. You didn't go back for the second item in the front of Skullwoods.
Oh, I knew the green pendant was bow locked. Because I talked to Sahashala, so I didn't care.
Because
I didn't care much for pedestal, to be honest. And I was like, oh, those things can be like literally everywhere, right? And
well, you didn't have hookshot yet at the time, so it's not like bow was the only thing keeping you from going.
Yeah, but I was not so scared about it. I was like, if Pet is locking something, it won't lock for Triforce pieces. I was thinking about it. I also was thinking about going Skyward's front. I was like, nah, let's just see that we can go as fast as possible towards Hype Cave, and then maybe do some clean up later.
Skullwood's front, we learned from Will, had Ether, which was the medallion for TR, but of course we were never going to see TR.
I mean, TR also had a bow. So.
Right.
Did we see the Zomaria on Will's side?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Actually, at the point where Will forfeited, he's in GT without hookshot because he never checked dig spot.
Oh, I thought about that, because I was like, if you go to Hype Cave start Darkwell, you most likely won't check that shovel so soon, right? So I was like, I would go even swamp before Hype Cave now, because that hookshot could be nasty.
Right, well, especially since he did Thieves Town before Skull Wood, so he really wasn't going to do Smith Chain.
True. Yeah, that was a nasty hookshot then for Will, I guess. But I often say, depending where you enter the Dark World, this can already conclude the race, right? One gets the mid's mirror, the other gets nothing, the other has the way better, faster route and wins by 2 minutes or 3 minutes just by optimized routing. That happens all the time.
Well, and you being earlier to the boots definitely made a difference.
Oh, that boots.
Because Will didn't Eastern dip bootless before finally going to Aegina and getting the boots.
Yeah. I think he already wrote to me that the Moon Pearl was pretty awful for him, but I think it was also pretty awful for me, but yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty much last location for both of you.
Yeah. So
I guess you didn't go into Eastern, that's the only thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh damn, if there's something in Hyrule Castle Front, I'm cooked. Like maybe a bow or something, then...
Oh, right, you never went into Hyrule Castle Front either. You never went to Uncle,
No,
did you?
I did everything.
Oh, you did, you're right, you did eventually, right.
Yeah, I did it late. I hadn't done it at start. Maybe he did an Uncle start with a hammer and didn't do it, I don't know.
No, you both started and sank.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about maybe an Uncle start, but then I was like, nah, I don't like it. But I got bombs from the pre-pull, so that's good.
I mean, starting in Sank worked out well with that early bottle. Getting you to Sick Kid immediately.
And Flute as well, right? I wasn't on the bottle match, I think. And I just barely could pay him.
Yes.
I was rather sad I took that 20 rupees in the 4 blue rupees from the first tree pull, because otherwise I would have had to do the world trip again, or maybe I skip it. Once I found Flute, I activated. That's kind of what I usually do then. That would have hurt, I guess.
Anyway, you have anything else? I gather Magno is facing off against Relkin later this week?
Yeah, it could be... Reckon had to do some adjustments to play on Friday, because Magno is on duty calls on this weekend.
Oh, I see.
So they will be facing off on Friday afternoon American time, I think, Eastern time. Something like that. I think 3 p.m., something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that should be a good race too. GG's to you and Will. Will has said in the race room that he was just feeling too tilted to do an interview, which is understandable.
It's fine to have emotions like that, and I always encourage people to just relax a bit and maybe then come later, or just cancel it for one time. Who cares? Like, it's totally fine to stay absent here.
Yeah.
Will is a fine guy.
Will's great.
I like him very much. So I was pretty hyped to race him again. I already wrote to him in race time. I think I had, like, few years ago, I've met him the first time with teammate as Zelga, I think, back then, and I got shattered by some Hyrule Castle shenanigans. So today I was a bit scared of Hyrule Castle eventually at some point. I was tempted to leave with a hammer on Uncle. I was like, nah. Let's just do it now. Who knows? Maybe he did Uncle start and cleared it immediately or something like that. But yeah, awful light world, linear dark world if you start on top, not start at Hype Cave. Nothing much to add, I think, there.
Yeah. Well, that's all I've got. Talon, do you have anything?
No, I just want to, again, say great job, Roger. Really good execution. Boss fights looked great. And, yeah, you made the couple skips that you made really paid off, and then hit the linear route in the Dark World. So congratulations to you and your team, backing up another win.
Yeah, thanks. It's pretty important for me because I kind of threw it away last week against Potatoepouch, so Tam won't hurt me so much this week. And yeah, thanks for having us here on Restream, doing the commentary at that special time of the day, so to speak. And yeah, see you guys again, I guess, I hope. And I'm looking forward to rewatching and take care, and Will, I love you.
Yeah. GG's again to the runners. Please do give them a follow. This was a fun race. I know the mode's a little bit controversial, but I feel it, it played pretty well. What do you think, Taylor?
I love this mode. I do. I think it's a really good mode. I think it's a fun mode to race. It's a good one-on-one mode. It offers at least the illusion of choice and versatility, but it can still be really competitive. So, looking forward to some of the other races coming up today. We've got a whole slew of randomizer for you for some league. I know there's a 1 p.m. in the open division that's going to be coming up. 2 p.m. in Invitational, also going to be on SpeedGaming. So yeah, keep them coming.
Yeah, check out the schedule for today. We've lined up a number of matches for restreams. They will or will not be restreamed depending if we can get a crew. So, yeah, sign up for comms and tracking if you want to see more races get restreamed, because there are a ton on the schedule. You can link to the schedule up above and join our Discord to become a commer tracker. So yeah, check that out. And once again, shout outs to Fishing Boo for doing the tracking, and thank you, Talon, for joining me on comms. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for jumping in and letting me co-comment with you. And I definitely want to echo what you said. If you like what you see and you want to help out in the Discord and tracking, commentating, we always will take volunteers. So do not be afraid to reach out to the mods in that Discord.
Yeah, and with that, I think we're going to sign off. And yeah, check back in at this afternoon for some good restreams.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.